Kia ora. Let's begin in a standing position to work our glutes using the Pilates principle of control. Sending the body weight first into the right foot. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, we'll lift our left foot out in front with a pointed toe and then start to tap it up and down. And the whole time that we're lifting and lowering, and you can stay really close to the ground if the balance feels a bit scary, we are engaging the abdominals. So keeping a brace here, drawing the breath in and out, but the whole time trying to draw the belly button towards the back of the spine to maintain balance, maintain control. Little cue here to try and turn the inner thigh up towards the sky or the ceiling, wherever you may be. And maybe each time you find you can come a little bit higher, and I want you to definitely try to control the action on the way down, so we're not just collapsing the leg back to the earth. For 3, 2, 1. Last time, lift it as high as you can and hold. Really create that turnout. Create length through the spine. One more breath in, and then exhale, draw it down. Now we come out to the other side. Inhale, breath, prepare, and then exhale, engage those abdominals as we lift and tap. Now again, you don't need to lift very high, especially if the balance is a challenge, and of course you can always find a wall. And as we come out in this direction, we're thinking about a turnout through the inner thigh where it's facing forward. Try and remain stable through the other side of the body. Keep thinking about lifting tall through the crown of the head so you have a lovely long neck. For 3, 2, 1. Last time, lift, squeeze, find the balance, breathe in, and then exhale, bring it back. Now behind us, so inhale, breath to prepare, exhale, engage the abdominals, and start to kick behind. You'll notice when I've come into this one that I am leaning forward, and I definitely have softness in that right knee as I lift the opposite leg. And again, it might just be a very small kick out to the back here. Thinking this time about, rather than pointing the toe, flexing the foot. So that's sending the heel away from you. We should feel this working through the glutes. Not just on the leg that we're kicking, but also on that supporting leg. Trying to integrate the shoulders onto your back here. Keep breathing for 3, 2, 1. Last time, kick it out, squeeze, hold. And on your next exhale breath, draw it in. We'll change sides. Inhale, breath to prepare. Find that beautiful Pilates posture. And then exhale, engage those abdominals. And we start our movement out the front here. See if you can create that turnout where your inner thigh is now pointing up towards the ceiling. Or if you're outside like me, up to the sky. And if we can, we're trying not to rest at either end of the movement, so it's quite fluid, but also exercising that control, so resisting on the way up and on the way down. You might think about the air being thick, or imagine if you were kicking that foot through water. For 3, 2, 1, and last time, kick it up, hold. See if you can lift it as high as you possibly can while maintaining spinal alignment. Breath in, and then exhale, bring it down, out to the side. Inhale, breath, prepare. Exhale, engage those abdominals, and we lift and tap. So it might only be just a couple of inches that it's coming up off of the ground. And now we're thinking about that inner thigh turnout so that the inner thigh faces forward. Still lovely and long through the back of the neck. Thinking about the work here in the oblique too, as the hip and rib come closer towards one another on that right hand side. Keep your balance, ground down through that supporting foot. For 3, 2, 1. Lift, squeeze, hold. Ouch. Breathe in and exhale, breathe it out to the back. Inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, engage the abdominals. Take that little lean forward and a bend into the knee on your supporting leg, and then we start to kick behind. Thinking this time about flexing the foot. It helps to keep those hips in alignment. And shoulders integrated onto the back. Maybe soften your gaze, focus somewhere in front of you to maintain balance. And keep that core switched on. Wrap the abdominals around, breathing in and out for 3, 2, 1. Kick it up, hold, squeeze. Final breath in, and then exhale as it comes down. Let's come down to sitting on the mat now, and we'll just do it through a mobility exercise. So a little squat. Inhale to lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale as the hands come down through the heart. And then with control, send the body weight into the heels and just start to sit back. Draw the elbows back, broaden across your collarbones. Notice when you get to a point where it starts to feel a bit stiff, and really let gravity draw the hips down. Now maybe in order for the hips to come lower, you need to shift up onto the balls of your feet, and that's perfectly fine. Just let it happen. And then let's work into some mobility in those hips. Any movements here that feel good. A little bit of a stretch after that work through the glutes already standing. And then we'll take ourselves around to hands and knees. So setting up the wrists underneath the shoulders, the index fingers pointing forward. And similarly to how we have done while we've been standing, we'll extend a leg out behind us. So starting with the right leg, flexing through the foot so that the toe is grounding down. Take an inhale breath to prepare, and then as you exhale, engage the abdominals nice and tight, and we start to kick that leg up towards the sky, the ceiling. Really thinking here about maintaining stability through the pelvis, stability across the back of the shoulder blades. So really push that mat away with your palms, and try not to rotate at all. So no twisting action, it's just straight up and down, really firing up that glute to create this lift. Keep going for 3, 2, 1, and you'll notice a little pattern here. Hold and squeeze, really activate, and then we'll control the way down, bending the knee and just bringing it in slowly, slowly, slowly to rest. Take a moment if you need before we switch sides just to flick your wrists out or wiggle the hips a little. And we'll come to that left leg. So inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, the core is tight. Extend that leg out long, flexing the foot to begin so that we can ground the toes and find beautiful sense of stability here. Neck is long. Inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, core tight as we lift and kick our hammock with our foot. I'll just wiggle over a little bit there, up and down. And squeezing through that glute. You should feel it firing off in order to lift that leg. And just check that you've still got that lovely alignment through the hips, stability across the back of the shoulder blades, and that we keep breathing in and out, but stabilizing through the core the whole time. So even when you take your more relaxing breath in Pilates, that's your inhale breath, we don't let the belly button dump down towards the mat. The whole time it's drawing up towards the back of the spine. For 3, 2, 1, and hold, squeeze. That's the good one. And then control on the way down, bending it in. And we'll take a moment here just to send the hips back towards the heels, again massaging or twirling the wrists, maybe wiggling the hips from side to side. Just getting a little bit of a reprieve there through those glutes for a moment. And then we'll come forward onto our bellies. So sending the forehead down to some palms that are pressed on top of one another on the mat. And we'll take our legs into a bit of an interesting shape here. I want the knees to come as wide as the mat, and then bending the legs, and we're drawing the heels in towards one another. It's a bit of a froggy position here with the legs. We take a deep breath in, and then as we exhale, lifting and squeezing to bring the front of the thighs up off of the ground. And then we lower back down on an inhale breath. Exhale, engage the core. tilt your pelvis forward so that your pubic bone pushes into the mat, and then from that place, squeeze and lift. You'll only be able to generate a little bit of movement. Don't expect to be able to bring the legs up super high, and you should really feel the glutes firing off to maintain stability and control. One more breath in, and we'll lower down nice and slowly. Let's make that a little bit faster. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, engage the abdominals. Try and tilt that pelvis forward so the pubic bone pushes down. And then we inhale to come back down. Exhale, lift. Challenge here to try not to rest at either end of the movement. So just let the the top of the thighs just kiss the mat before you go back up again. And lift, squeeze. And lower. Ooh, keep it going. Lift, squeeze. This is a really good exercise for targeting some of those harder to reach areas of muscle in our glutes. Lift, squeeze, and lower. And this is where it gets really fun. We'll lift and squeeze and then separate the heels and start to tap them together. Little taps in and out. Now we're bracing the abdominals the whole time, breathing in and out, still tilting that pelvis forward, pushing the pubic bone down into the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, squeeze, hold, out, and lower. Awesome work. Not easy. Extend the legs out long and just let the hips wriggle from side to side. And then we'll roll over onto one side. So I'm going to begin on, I believe it will read as being my left side watching the video. If not, doesn't matter, just as long as we do both sides, right? So let's get our shoulders in line with our wrist. Nice to line them up with the long edge of your mat if you're working on a mat. And then bringing our knees in a bent position forward of the body. So the knees are nearly in line with the hips. And from here we'll work into our clam exercise. So an inhale, breath to prepare, and then exhale, engage the abdominals, and we lift open that top leg. Inhale there to hold, and then exhale with control. We're squeezing the knees back towards one another, but imagining again that that air is thick or it's like water in a swimming pool. Exhale to lift now. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Really engage the abdominals before every lift to help with pelvic stability. So there should be very little, or ideally no, movement through the trunk of the body. We're really isolating the glutes in terms of performing this leg action, not recruiting other areas of the body. I know it's not easy. Once more, squeeze and lift. And then similarly to like how we just did when we were laying on our bellies and we went to some fast tempo stuff, here we're going to press the knees together, then the heels. Knees, heels, knees, heels. And keep the belly braced here, drawing the belly button to the back of the spine, little knock. And we're just kissing those 2 points. We're not holding at one or the other or resting. You should really feel that work coming in now for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a wee rest. You can rub into that muscle there if you like. And we'll just do one more exercise laying here on the side. So performing our forward kicks, extending the legs out long, bringing them in a diagonal forward of the hips, and then take an inhale, breath to prepare, and as you exhale, engage the abdominals, get that core tight, shoulders are balanced, hips are balanced, and we lift that leg up just about a foot or so from the other leg. Inhale, breath again to prepare, exhale, core tight, flex the foot, and we kick it forward. Inhale, point the toe, bring it back. Exhale, flex the foot, bring it forward. Inhale, point the toe, bring it back. You don't need to bring it to as far forward as you physically can. Rather, really focus on control in the movement. So when you really kick super far forward, you might be getting caught up in using a little bit of momentum. Here we want to control. So resist that urge and bring it back. Kick it forward and bring it back. Awesome work. And let's do one more. And this time when it comes back, we'll just finish with a little round of like a hot potato. So we take an inhale, breath to prepare, exhale, core tight. And we're just tapping like a little rainbow here, the toe on that top leg, down one side and then the other of the leg that's laying on the ground. And we keep moving like this, keeping that core switched on, belly button drawing to the back of the spine for 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll come around over onto the other side. So take your time to move, setting things up so that the hip and shoulder is in line with that long edge of the mat, checking the hips are stacked one on top of the other, as are the shoulders, and then drawing the knees forward into that bent knee position. You can either prop your head up or you can lay it down flat. See what feels best for your neck. Inhale, breath to prepare here, and then exhale with the core tight. We lift that top knee. Remember, stability through the rest of the body. And then as we inhale, we draw them back together slowly with control. Don't rest at the bottom. Exhale, core tight, lift, squeeze. Inhale, draw them back down. Exhale, core tight, lift and squeeze. Inhale, closing those knees back up. Exhale, core tight, lift and squeeze. Inhale, down we go. Exhale, lift. Inhale, imagine that air is really thick. Exhale. How still can you stay through the trunk of the body by engaging your abdominals? And once more, lift up and squeeze. And then we create that interesting knee and then heel movement. So knees touch, heels touch. Knees touch, heels touch. Remember, it's just a slight kiss. And again, the challenge here is to stabilize through the pelvic girdle, through your core muscles, and really concentrate on that top leg being the one that moves, even though the bottom one probably wants to wriggle around a wee bit. And keep going for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let it rest just for a moment. Then we send the legs out onto that slightly forward of the body diagonal, coming into that kick movement. So inhale, breath to prepare. Exhale, core tight. We lift that top leg about a foot and flex the foot forward. Inhale again. And then on the exhale, pulling belly button to the back of the spine, we kick that leg forward. On the inhale, we point the toe and draw it back into alignment. Exhale, kicking forward. You don't need to go very far in order to feel the work through the glute, through the leg. And again, let's focus on maintaining stability through the rest of the body. Oh, it's good to have some sunshine. And remember, we're exhaling, core engaged on the way out, and inhaling to draw it back with control. So that draw back isn't too quick. We're imagining thick water. And one more. Drawing it back, that little hot potato action. Inhale again, and then as we exhale, really switch those abdominals on and keep the core braced as we hot potato, or make a little rainbow basically, with the top toe coming in front of that bottom leg and then behind. Notice again how hard it is to maintain stability when we're doing these more staccato style movements. Keep those shoulders stacked one on top of one another, always being aware of the posture of the whole body. And for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just give it a little rub. And we'll come over onto our backs to finish up. So finding a bridge position here with the knees bent, arms by your side and the heels coming close enough that you can tickle the back of the heels with your hands. Take an inhale breath from this position, and then as you exhale, first imprint your lower back into the mat so the pelvis tilts forward, and then squeeze your glutes to lift your hips, peeling them off the mat, and control this at the top. So we'll hold here, creating a little resistance between the inner thighs. One more breath in, and then as we exhale, really pull that belly button down towards the earth, and then follow through with rolling your spine one vertebrae at a time until the lower back imprints again. And we go once more. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl up, squeeze. And then inhale as you roll back down. This time just lightly kiss the mat before you back up. Inhale, coming down one vertebrae at a time. You feel the lower back kiss down. You finish your inhale, and then exhale, squeeze up. Let's do that a few more times. Each time seeing if you can send more attention into the glutes on that squeeze up. And that's not to say that we're taking them any higher, just that we're becoming more aware of that mind to muscle connection here. And twice more. This last one we hold, and you have the option just to hold here or to try and see how this feels for you, extending one leg, tapping it down, and then the other. So again, more of a staccato movement. And this time we are completely bracing those abdominals whilst we're breathing in and out. And try and control the movement. So as the leg comes down, you're paying attention to stability through the pelvis. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And squeeze into that bridge. And then we'll lower down nice and gently. Highest point of the spine to the lowest, and give your knees a lovely hug in towards the chest. Any little massaging movements that you'd like to take here. And if you wanted to just release those glutes a little bit more, you can come into a figure 4 stretch, so crossing your ankle over the top. One ankle over the top of the opposite thigh, flexing that foot and squeezing in towards you. If this doesn't reach, there's the option to have that other foot down on the ground. And changing sides. And we'll come nice and gently up to a seated position again from here. So releasing that stretch, drawing yourself over onto your side, and then just pushing the floor away to bring yourself back to upright. So short and sweet. I hope that you did feel that that was working in your glutes. And if you enjoyed this video, do let me know, and I can bring you another one soon. Thanks, bye.